A Man from Mount Auburn is the latest winner of the Discovery Channel's Moonshiners, Master Distiller. Justin Meredith's brisket-flavored moonshine and strawberry cheesecake sipping cream wowed the judges, including guest judge Robert Irvine. The brisket for me is off the chain, 100% perfect. That's the future of liquor, I think, Irvine said when judging Meredith's moonshine. Meredith was given 4 hours to make moonshine per round, and he came out on top, defeating his other 2 competitors. Despite Meredith's knack for distilling moonshine, it's still an illegal practice in Iowa. All we want to do is be able to appreciate our hobby without getting in trouble for it, Meredith said. One of the legal concerns about the homebrewing of moonshine is if distillers sell it and don't pay the necessary taxes. But Meredith said the distillers he knows consider it a pastime, not a business. We're not trying to go out and sell it. We're not trying to get rich off of it. We just want to enjoy our hobby, Meredith said. The distilling process can also be dangerous. Many of the ingredients are flammable and could cause explosions. There are possible health concerns as well. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, say improperly distilled moonshine can contain methanol, which can lead to blindness or even death. But Meredith said he always puts in the work to make sure his moonshine is safe. This is something that we love. It's something that we pour our heart and soul into and spend hours upon hours of doing research and diving into the science of everything, Meredith said. Overall, the master distiller says he just wants to practice his craft at home without breaking the law. I understand that selling it and, passing it around to other people is frowned upon, and that's fine. But let us make it for ourselves, Meredith said. Benton Co. man wins Discovery Channel's Moonshiners. Master distiller hopes to see home brew moonshine become legal in a world where craft brewing and distilling are gaining mainstream popularity. It seems that the age-old tradition of moonshining is also making a comeback, at least in Benton County, Tennessee. One man, a lifelong lover of the art and craft of distilling, has taken his passion to new heights, recently winning Discovery Channel's Moonshiners, Master Distiller. With his victory, he hopes to not only elevate his own status as a master distiller, but also change the way people perceive and, ultimately, legalize home-brewed moonshine. A local hero in the making, Benton County, located along the western edge of Tennessee, is no stranger to the moonshining culture. With its rugged terrain and proximity to the Tennessee River, it has long been a haven for those seeking the freedom to distill in secret. It's a history that stretches back generations, passed down from father to son, from neighbor to neighbor, as locals continue to craft their unique spirits far from the prying eyes of the authorities. But even as moonshine has evolved, with modern distillers adopting high-tech tools and producing sophisticated recipes, much of the craft has remained illegal. Enter our protagonist, Johnny Daniels, a Benton County man whose love for distilling runs as deep as the rivers that wind through his hometown. Johnny's journey to becoming a household name began with humble roots. Growing up in the backwoods of Benton County, he was exposed to the art of distilling at an early age. His father, a part-time farmer and full-time enthusiast of Appalachian moonshine, taught him the ropes. It's a tradition down here, Johnny explained in a recent interview. It's been in my blood since I was a kid. My daddy and his buddies would have a still going in the woods, and I'd sit back and watch. I loved it. Even when it was all hush-hush and frowned upon by the law, I knew it was something special. Despite the underground nature of his education, Johnny's fascination with the distilling process was anything but illegal. He spent his teenage years reading books, watching old documentaries, and perfecting his craft. When the time came to make a name for himself, he didn't hesitate. He started small, testing out new recipes, sharing them with friends, and selling his creations locally. When Discovery Channel's Moonshiners, Master Distiller first aired, Johnny took notice. The show highlighted talented distillers from across the country, each competing for the coveted title of Master Distiller. Johnny saw it as an opportunity to put his passion to the test and prove that Benton County had a place on the national stage for moonshine. He didn't know it yet, but this decision would alter the course of his life. The showdown on Moonshiners, Master Distiller: The Road to Becoming a Master Distiller, was not an easy one. The competition was fierce, featuring some of the best amateur and professional distillers from around the United States. For Johnny, it was a challenge that required. Johnny's first few rounds on the show weren't easy. As he recalls, the pressure was immense. You're up against people who've been doing this professionally for decades. But I kept reminding myself that I wasn't just doing this for me. I was doing it for my hometown, for my family, and for all the people who've helped me along the way. Despite the grueling competition, Johnny impressed the judges with his unique approach to distilling. Rather than simply focusing on traditional recipes, he brought a new level of innovation to his creations, incorporating locally sourced fruits, spices, and even herbs from Benton County. This commitment to regional ingredients set his work apart from the rest of the contestants, earning him high praise from the judges. But it wasn't just his ingredients that made him stand out. Johnny's deep knowledge of the history and traditions of moonshining also played a pivotal role in his victory. He understood the cultural significance of the craft and shared this passion with the judges, who were impressed not only by his talent, but by his dedication to preserving the heritage of moonshining. As the competition neared its final, Johnny's commitment to perfection paid off. In the final showdown, Johnny was tasked with creating a signature moonshine recipe that would impress the judges. After hours of testing, tweaking, and perfecting, Johnny unveiled his creation: a smooth, complex moonshine infused with blackberries, honey, and a touch of local cinnamon. It was a reflection of his upbringing, his community, and the flavors of Benton County. The judges were won over, and Johnny was crowned the winner of Moonshiners, Master Distiller. A vision for the future, legalizing home brew, moonshine. Winning the title of Master Distiller was a dream come true for Johnny Daniels. But for him, the victory was about more than just a shiny new title. It was about elevating Benton County to a place where local distillers could thrive legally. Johnny has long been a vocal advocate for changing the laws around homebrew moonshine, believing that it is time for the state to embrace the tradition and culture of moonshining. I've seen so many people in this town with the knowledge and talent to create amazing spirits, but they can't do it because of the laws, Johnny said. It's frustrating to see people with this kind of skill have to hide their craft. The world of distilling is changing, and it's time for our laws to catch up. Johnny isn't alone in his belief. Many of his fellow distillers and neighbors in Benton County share his desire to see home-brewed moonshine legalized. For generations, moonshining has been a way of life in rural Tennessee, but it has always been kept in the shadows due to legal restrictions. Distillers are often forced to sell their products illegally or run the risk of being arrested by authorities. For many, it's a risky business, one that comes with fines, legal fees, and potential jail time. Johnny believes that legalizing homebrew moonshine would not only provide an economic boost to Benton County, but also honor the region's rich cultural heritage. This is about more than just making moonshine, Johnny explained. It's about preserving a piece of our history. It's about showing the world that moonshining is an art form. And it's about making sure the people who've been doing it for years have a chance to do it legally, without fear of prosecution. The road ahead, advocacy and education. Since winning the show, Johnny has become a prominent advocate for the legalization of homebrew moonshine. He has used his newfound fame to speak out on behalf of small-town distillers, encouraging lawmakers to reconsider outdated laws and regulations that stifle innovation in the spirits industry. Johnny believes that the first step toward legalization is education. A lot of people still see moonshining as something shady, he said. They don't understand the craft and the science that goes into it. That's why it's so important for us to educate the public about what we're doing. Johnny's plan includes hosting events, offering tours of local distilleries, and working with legislators to create a framework for legal homebrewing. He envisions a future where small-scale distillers can operate legally, paying taxes and contributing to the local economy. It's about creating jobs, bringing in tourism, and preserving a piece of American history, he said. Johnny's efforts have already started to gain traction. He's received support from local officials who recognize the potential for the moonshine industry to revitalize Benton County's economy. In fact, some local lawmakers have expressed interest in working with Johnny to draft new legislation that would allow for legal home brewing under certain conditions. "We're just beginning the conversation," Johnny said. "But I'm confident that change is coming. Moonshining isn't something that's going to disappear. It's been around hundreds